This traditional dessert has been around for centuries and is considered part of Japanese culture. It has connections to Buddhism and now can be found all over the country. You can get it any time of the year, but at Christmas there are special holiday themes and designs. We're exploring the history and origins of Wagashi. I'm your host, Glenn Warren, and welcome to another serving of Seasons Eatings, the podcast which explores the history and origins of your favorite Christmas foods. Seasons Eatings can be found wherever you download your favorite podcasts. If you haven't already, I would ask you to subscribe. That way you won't miss an episode when it's released. And all future episodes will be available without you having to search for them. If you can please take a minute and leave me a 5-star review, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you let me know you've left a review, I'll send you a Seasons Eating sticker as a personal thank you. And if you can't leave a review, then all I ask is to share this podcast with anyone you think would love to learn more about our favorite Christmas foods. Seasons Eatings can also be found on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky. All the links can be found in the show notes, which can be found at seasonseatingspodcast.com. And while you're there, you can buy me an eggnog. Just click on the little cup in the top of the page and leave a donation for as little as $3. Each donation is used for the running of the podcast and its general upkeep, so any help would be wonderful. Finally, you can let me know how I'm doing, leave a suggestion for a future episode, or just say hello at seasonseatingspodcast@gmail.com. All links for the podcast can be found in the show notes. Christmas in Japan is most like Christmas around the world. Families gather together for some meals. The stores and streets are decorated with lights and decorations, but you can find these unique sweet treats called Wagashi. Now, most Wagashi are made from ingredients like rice flour, beans, and agar, which have been used for centuries. Traditional Wagashi uses only plant-based ingredients, and this is what makes these Japanese confections so different from Western desserts, and also suitable for vegans. Wagashi refers to a wide variety of Japanese sweets, typically made from plant ingredients like mochi, which is a pounded rice, anko, a sweet red bean paste, kantan, which is agar-agar, a gelatin derived from seaweed, and sometimes chestnuts, sweet potatoes, and seasonal fruits. Unlike many Western sweets, Wagashi tends to be a more subtle sweet, prioritizing balance of flavor over indulgence. They're often handmade and artistically crafted to reflect seasonal flowers, nature, or cultural motifs. Like most cultures, early sweets are usually whatever you can find around growing, like dried fruits, berries, and nuts. And while there's a record of sweet treats being created and eaten during the early periods, most of today's Wagashi was born during the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868. This was a period of peace, economic and cultural prosperity, and increased domestic self-sufficiency in sugar. During the Edo period, a type of Wagashi called narikari was made by kneading a white bean paste, gihi, sugar, yams, and other ingredients, and then formed into various colors and shapes based on seasonal flowers, animals, nature, customs, and other themes. In Japan, the word for sweets or a confectionery is kashi, originally referred to fruit or nuts. Fruit and nuts may be eaten as snacks between meals and served as sweets during a tea ceremony. The word wa means Japanese, and kashi or became gashi in compound words. So wagashi therefore means a Japanese confectionery. Now in 1603, the term kashi meant both a confectionery and the fruit. So it was more commonly used to refer to the fruit instead of the confectionery. For example, the Portuguese-Japanese dictionary of the time describes quaxi as fruit, especially fruit eaten after a meal. The term mizugashi, water confectionery, which is used to refer to fruit today, is a remnant of the same term. The word wagashi was coined at the end of the 1800s to distinguish Japanese confectionery from sweets, cakes, and baked goods introduced from the Western termed yogashi. However, wagashi was not the common term for Japanese confectionery until after the Second World War. So regional varieties of wagashi were developed, and many of the iconic types we know today, such as nirikiri, which is a molded artistic sweet made from white bean paste and mochi, dorayaki, which is a sweet pancake with a red bean filling, and manju, which is a steamed bun filled with anko. That can mean the definition of wagashi is a little bit ambiguous, and the line between wagashi and other types of Japanese confectionery is a bit vague. For example, although the original casuteira was introduced from Portugal, it's been around for more than 400 years and has been modified to suit Japanese tastes, so it's classified as a wagashi. Mizu Shinden Mochi, or a raindrop cake, created in 2014, was developed by a wagashi shop as a derivative of Shingen Mochi and is recognized as wagashi in Japan. In recent years, wagashi shops have developed and marketed many confections that are an eclectic mix of wagashi and Western tastes, often referred to as neo-wagashi. During the Kamakura period, which is from 1185 to 1333, Japanese Buddhist monks who studied in the Song dynasty brought the tea culture to Japan, and the custom of eating confections with tea began. However, the manju and yokan brought to Japan by the monks were not the sweets as we know them today, but were prepared in a completely different way. At that time, manju was not a confection as it didn't contain red bean paste, and were not that sweet. As we know now, that manju is like a red bean paste bun, a very dense bun filled with red bean paste. And during the Edo period, wagashi developed dramatically, establishing what we know today as wagashi. And by the 17th century, classical Japanese literature and seasonal elegance began to be incorporated into wagashi brand names. During the Genroku era, which is 1688 to 1704, wagashi with beautiful shapes and colors based on themes from classical literature and seasonal elegance began to be produced under the influence of the Rinpa school of art. During the Edo period is when self-sufficiency in sugar increased. The 8th Tokugawa shogun, Tokugawa Yoshimune, encouraged the production of sugar. In the Sanuki province, a sugar called wasanban was produced, and therefore the common people began to eat wagashi that used a lot of sugar, and various types of wagashi were produced, especially in Kyoto. Local wagashi specialties began to be produced in various regions of Japan, and a wagashi culture blossomed throughout the country. The design of nirikiri, a beautiful fresh confection with various shapes and colors, was created and developed in Kyoto during this period and spread to all parts of Japan. The brand names and designs of these uniquely Japanese wagashi were compiled and recorded in different picture books at the time. Today, wagashi is still enjoyed in tea ceremonies and festivals and other seasonal events. Artisan treats wagashi making as a craft and an art, with many sweets symbolizing cherry blossoms, maple leaves, snow, or the moon, depending on the time of year. That means we'll explore Wagashi and its connection to Christmas after the break.
Hi, this is Scott from Holly Jolly Xmasu, your podcast destination for Japanese Christmas music. If you like Christmas music and are tired of the same old songs, this is the podcast for you. Join me each month as I explore my collection of Yuletide albums from Japan, featuring everything from city pop to 80s rock, long-lost jazz, and psychedelic garage rock. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. It's some of the greatest Christmas music you've never heard.
What's up, dudes? I'm Jerry D of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. Toys, movies, specials, music, books, fashion, and fads.
If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, he's got it covered. Wait, is there a lot of things to talk about for the 80s and Christmas?
Well, you got the movie giants like Christmas Vacation, Scrooged, and A Christmas Story. There are TV specials like Muppet Family Christmas, Claymation Christmas Celebration, and a Garfield Christmas special.
Plus classics shown every year.
You also jam out to Last Christmas, Do They Know It's Christmas, and Christmas in Hollis. But most of all, it was a time for the most bodacious, best-selling Christmas toys ever, like He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers,
and Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yes, them too. We cover them all, plus much more, including standard segments like Hap Hap Happiest Memory, Gag Me with the Spoon, The Other Half of the Battle,
and Chant with the Littles.
So tune in to Totally Rad Christmas everywhere you get your podcasts. Turn the clock back and dive into those warm and fuzzy memories.
Later, dudes.
When you think of Christmas, most of us have images from a North American or European perspective. Most of the literature and images are families gathered around the table, filled with turkey or ham or roast boar, even dishes of fish and other vegetables, and loads of different desserts. Christmas in Japan is a little bit different. The first thing you find if you search for Christmas in Japan is the fairly new tradition of getting a fried chicken dinner for Christmas from the American chain Kentucky Fried Chicken, or KFC. It has become such a phenomenon that people have to make reservations for this festive meal weeks in advance. I mean, understandably, it's great marketing for KFC. It started in the mid-70s for a manager trying to promote chicken sales during the holiday, and it caught on like wildfire. You can find ads for the festive meal months in advance coming up to Christmas. And other traditions have started in Japan for Christmas. I mean, traditionally, Christmas is not a holiday in Japan because Japan is mostly Shinto and Buddhist. However, since post-World War II, Christmas has become a popular secular celebration, especially among young couples and families. Christmas in Japan is largely considered a date night for couples. Consider it like an early Valentine's Day, if you will. And usually comprises of going out to dinner and visiting a date spot, typically like winter-themed illuminations or seasonal light displays. Or groups of friends or families get together and celebrate together as well as doing a Secret Santa gift exchange. And families with children will usually spend the evening at home with takeout or Western influenced food like fried chicken and gifts, kids opening their gifts from Santa. And since December 25th is not a federal or a national holiday, it's business as usual. And if Christmas falls on the weekday, usually all these get-togethers are done by 9 or 10 p.m. so people can get up and go to work or go to school the next day. In fact, it's common to see Christmas displays being pulled down by the morning of the 25th and replaced with New Year decorations. Unlike probably some of us who have Christmas-themed things in their house all year long. With increasing Western influences, think of Tokyo Disney, anybody? It makes sense that the holiday traditions are increasing as well. While Wagashi is a treat that can be enjoyed all year long, Christmas time brings out the holiday themes. Wagashi are prized for their artistic seasonal symbolism. So some contemporary Wagashi makers create limited edition Christmas designs, including things as Santa Claus shaped nerikiri, a snowman daifuku, or a Christmas tree shaped yokan, or mochi decorated with gold flakes or red or green colors. So these sweets traditionally blend techniques with Christmas iconography, and they're often packaged with elegant seasonal gifts. While the classic Japanese Christmas dessert is actually a strawberry sponge cake, some people choose wagashi for a lighter or more traditional touch. Wagashi gift boxes are shared among coworkers or given as a year-end thank you gift. Matcha and wagashi pairings are sometimes offered in hotels or upscale cafes as refined alternatives to Western desserts during the Christmas season. And while wagashi has long been centered around traditional Japanese festivals, Christmas is becoming a regular fixture in wagashi calendars, especially in luxury gift sets, high-end department stores, cafes, and hotels offering seasonal afternoon teas. And while we're likely to see even more diverse winter wagashi collections inspired by Christmas but remaining true to Japanese seasonality, think of stuff like snow landscapes or holly and poinsettia shapes, or even candles in type of wagashi. And there's even been a rise in wagashi fashion, where Japanese sweets meet Western flavors. For example, there's a white chocolate-filled manju, or a strawberry cream daifuku for its snowy aesthetic. You get matcha-flavored Yule logs with wagashi-style decorations. These are especially popular in department stores and patisseries during December. And as social media continues to drive food trends, especially in Japan, wagashi artisans will design Christmas pieces that are like miniature works of art. Custom photo-worthy boxes and displays will become the norm. Limited edition holiday drops may follow fashion sweetware models, creating buzz for a rare wagashi. Think of them as seasonal edible art, tailored for modern tastes but rooted in centuries-old craftsmanship. As culinary traditions move online, expect to see Christmas wagashi making kits sold globally. Online tutorials or Zoom wagashi workshops may be offered seasonal editions. Think about making your own snowman daifuku. Overall, making wagashi is not that hard, but can be time-consuming and requires a bit of practice to master the techniques. As you might expect from a traditional Japanese discipline, you can spend your whole life making wagashi and never reach perfection. The easiest one to make is basically a simple bean paste. You soak beans overnight and then drain that and then soak them and cook them for a couple hours. And then once they're cooked through, make them into a paste, add some sugar, a little bit of rice flour, and maybe a pinch of salt. And then you can color it and shape it practically any way you like. And for the holidays, obviously the simplest one is basically make a round ball of the bean paste and make it into a small little Christmas ornament. Add a tiny little extra piece on top. Or you can shape it into a little bit of a square and wrap a little bit of ribbon or like candy licorice around it to make a present. Or if you're feeling a little extra generous, make it into a cone shape and then use some scissors to cut out little pieces and make it look a little bit like a Christmas tree. So while Wagashi itself isn't traditionally tied to Christmas, its adaptability and artistic nature makes it a natural fit for the seasonal reinterpretation. In Japan's unique blend of cultural borrowing and innovation, Wagashi becomes a canvas for modern holiday expression, preserving Japanese traditions while embracing global influences. Wagashi artisans focus on seasonal and aesthetic representation, crafting sweets to reflect nature and current events. This tradition extends naturally to Western holidays as well. In essence, the future of Christmas Wagashi isn't about replacing tradition. It's about expanding it. This centuries-old craft continues to reinvent itself for new generations and new occasions, including a Western holiday like Christmas. Thank you for listening to this serving of Seasons Eatings. I'm your host, Glenn Warren, and Seasons Eatings is available wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Please, if you can leave a review about the show, we can spread the Christmas cheer. Also, I would love to hear from you. Send me an email at seasonseatingspodcast@gmail.com and let me know how you like the show, suggestions for a future episode, or just say hello. And if you let me know you've left a review, I'll send you a Seasons Eating sticker as a personal thank you. And if you're feeling extra generous this season, you can buy me an eggnog. Head on over to seasonseatingspodcast.com and click on the little cup in the corner. We also have some great merchandise. TVs. I wish we had TVs. T-shirts, mugs, aprons, stickers. Go to seasonseatingspodcast.com, click on the merchandise tab to find your next great gift. All music for Seasons Eatings is used under the Creative Commons license.